Hey guys, welcome to Cold Film and Review, the podcast where we discuss the films you love but no one else gets and we see if they hold up. Tonight, you better stop moving. You better not talk. Talking to you, Mike. And I hope you can run as fast as Kevin Bacon because we're talking about Tremors. So let's just start the show.
Your Hollywood system stole our sex and co-opted our violence, so there's nothing left for our kinds of movies.
I did not hit her. It's not true.
Klopex? Klopex. Klopex.
Up yours, baby.
Me and Bubba, my little brother, listen to you every night.
Where in the hell are we?
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass. And I'm all out of bubblegum.
Thanks for joining us. As always, guys, we really appreciate it. If you could please leave us a review on iTunes. Stars and comments help us out. If you do, we will give you a shout out at the end of each episode. We didn't have any for this week, but that's okay. It's okay.
Yeah, it's only the third week in a row we don't have one.
No. We had one last week.
We did?
Yeah, they didn't leave anything. They just left us a star review, and that's why I said it's
We
okay.
had this conversation on the episode. You should
I don't
listen to
mind
the
that.
previous episode.
I never listened to my voice.
As always, I am joined by Kyle Smith,
Hello.
Chris Willenbrecht,
What's up?
and Michael Slucio.
Hey, everybody.
This week we are talking about Tremors. It was directed by Ron Underwood, came out in 1990, had a budget of $11 million, made $16 million, was filmed here in the United States of America, and currently sits at 85% on Rotten Tomatoes. If you guys don't know what this film's about, it's about natives of a small, isolated town defending themselves against strange underground creatures which are killing them off one by one. This was Kyle's pick.
Sure as fuck was.
Kyle, why'd you pick Tremors?
I love this movie. When I was a kid growing up, this was one of my jams. You know, I'd watch this all the time, and I've been really wanting to do this movie on the podcast, but I don't know why it just hasn't come up. But I felt this was the right time.
Well, clearly a 1 rating.
Yeah.
Gonna give it a one.
Hey,
elephant gun.
You never show the card. You never show the cards.
Had anyone not seen this movie before? No, I didn't think so. Everyone's had to see this movie, right?
Okay.
I was getting ready to slap someone.
Let's move on.
So, Chris, when was the first time that you remember seeing Tremors?
Definitely when I was a young age. I think that's probably why it left a magical impression on me, is because to see this as a child, like I'm talking like 7, 8 years old, it's pretty awesome and fun to watch. So it had to be around 7 or 8.
What about you, Mike?
Probably like 15. What did you say, 1990?
Yeah.
Okay, so this came out when I was 10. I definitely didn't see this in the theater, so I think I did see it like on a Showtime or something like that. So yeah, 15, maybe 14, 15.
Yeah, I never.
No,
saw
I
it
didn't
too.
see it in theaters either. My first recollection of it would be on TBS.
My grandma got it for me for Christmas
Oh, really?
on VHS.
What a nice grandma.
Yeah, what a
Yeah.
cool grandma.
Yeah.
What a cool grandma.
She got me. I remember that year. She got me this on VHS, and if I'm not mistaken, she got me Terminator 2 on VHS.
This thing,
Oh man, she's knocking it out of the park.
it should come. In my opinion, it should come packaged with NyQuil.
This film should?
Yeah, because it's like right there with The Price is Right. As far as like when I'm sick, like I will watch Tremors or Price is Right. Like
Oh, okay.
it's like one of those things that like no matter what, it always makes me feel better.
There you go.
You know, it's like the cure all.
This
It's
is the
cure-all.
only good shit on when you were sick in the middle of the afternoon weekday.
Weekday.
I think,
exactly.
and I love it because I feel like it's kind of our generation's like monster movie. You know, like the creature feature of like the 90s was that. I mean, there were a lot of copies that came after it, but I feel like this one was like really the one that left the biggest impression on all of us as children. You know?
Yeah, definitely for me, like, just this movie scared the crap out of me when I first saw it. Even on TV, just seeing like a TV edit of it. It's you know, as a kid, this movie does not hold back the punches on killing people. Does not. They murder quite a bit in that little small town of perfection.
Mm-hmm.
But it's also like extremely fun to me. I don't know. I had a really fun time watching this. And yeah, like I said, just as a kid, it's one of those ones where it instantly captured my imagination.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
Mhm.
like it's one of those things, and it's the reason I know it's in my opinion, like give my rating away. It's a good movie is because to me it's a totally ridiculous concept, but you somehow believe everything that's going on.
Yeah, you buy into it.
Yep.
This is basically, to me, a fun version of Jaws in the desert.
Oh, I like
That's
that.
a solid description of this film.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Which is like, so, you're being told a story you've seen before. It's just in a different setting with a different kind of creature. But it is a little lighthearted, which makes the killing not as bad for some reason.
I would definitely put this film in a weird same light. It reminds me a lot of Gremlins.
Yeah.
That it has that weird kind of like, there's like people dying and stuff like that, but like, hey, let's all.
It's kind of fun.
Don't remember, this is fun. This is fun, guys. Like, don't.
Yeah, I feel like this movie like hits the perfect equation for a creature feature, because I mean you look at a lot of them. There's always there's a certain formula that's used. I feel like in most all creature features, this one hits it perfectly. You have two likable characters, and within the first minute and a half, at least me, I'm like, this character Kevin Bacon's hilarious. Like he's pretending like there's a stampede, and then all of a sudden you get kind of brought in on their inside jokes with the rock paper scissors thing, and then you kind of see their life kind of unfold before you, and the way that the kills are presented they're happening in a quick enough succession so that you don't get bored.
Right.
And then when there's no creatures on film, you're like learning about this town full of
Interesting people.
Like,
well,
what
that
brought
and
them
it's
there?
and the kills are not that violent.
No, they're not.
No, but they're done effectively, like
with imagination.
Again, it
It's
feels
fun.
like a Gremlins kind of kill.
Correct.
Like
Yeah.
it's very
No blood. You're not.
off-screen
No
and-
decapitations.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just people
But
getting
still-
swallowed by giant worms.
But still cool stuff though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Still cool stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, they bury a car. That's fucking
That's
cool
so,
as
That's
shit.
so cool.
Yeah.
We'll get into that.
Okay, we will.
Let's take a break. When we come back, we'll talk more about Tremors.
Okay, here's the plan. We don't even stop. We ride like hell. Tonight, we'll keep right on going. We'll walk the horses.
That is the plan. I mean, god damn. What the hell are those things? And how could they bury a whole station wagon?
Why would they do it?
Come on, get. I can do it. Walker wouldn't know it's decent horse if he came up and bit him in the ass.
Wait a minute. They got wind of something they don't like.
Yeah.
All right, guys, we're back. We're talking about Tremors. It was Kyle's pick. I wanted to get into just some of the coolness of this movie and the ridiculousness. One of my questions on here was, and we kind of briefly touched on it, was why is the Tremors universe so ridiculous yet believable? And if you think about it, the characters, like, you have like your grounded characters in Fred Ward and Kevin Bacon. They're pretty grounded in reality, but then you go like crazy with Reba McEntire and
Burt Gummer.
Yeah, Burt Gummer. What's the actor's name? I can't think of it
That's
right now.
Michael Gross.
Michael Gross, who were both from, like, one's from country music and the other was from, what was the television show he was on?
Alf.
Family Ties?
No, it wasn't Alf. It was Family Ties.
Joking.
Family
I'm just
Ties.
joking. I know.
I'm
Yeah,
pretty sure
Family
it's Family
Ties. Go on.
Yeah, this is Reba McEntire's first film too.
Yeah, and it's just
It was.
Yeah.
This was Reba McEntire's first film.
and the fact that they make that, like, graboids as a creature believable.
Yeah. No, I think they did that. That's the thing that I think continues to draw me to this film. Like you mentioned before the break, was like this movie really pulls you and you buy into the gimmick. You buy into the story and the characters and even the monsters because they do it so well. And it's again, practical effects. Nowadays, they probably look goofy as shit. Well, I guess you could just watch a current Tremors film and see how goofy as shit they look. But
it looks better than Sharknado. Really?
Yeah, I think the
You're not
effects are
sure?
really
no,
what pulls you
nowadays,
in.
not the current
Oh, okay,
one. This
okay.
movie. Oh yeah. This
I meant,
movie
like,
looks
this
better
looks better than
looks better than
Sharknado.
most monsters.
See, I almost disagree with that because I feel like with the monsters are an extra bonus. I feel like in this movie because the first, I'd say, half hour, you're building and learning that relationship between
Val and Earl.
Yeah, Val and Earl, and just like how they interact with each other and how they want to get out of the town, and they're just handymen who are just doing anything for a buck, basically.
Yeah.
Kevin Bacon lives by the seat of his pants, and Fred Ward's always got a plan.
Yeah.
Yep.
You never
Sure
plan.
does.
You always got to plan ahead.
Yeah.
That way they don't do anything right now.
You know what it is. You know what it is. I'll tell you why I think that this film strikes a relatable chord with audiences while still kind of being a little bit kind of drifting into the absurdity. It does the same thing that movies like Slither and The Burbs does, right? It takes characters that that kind of really exist in real life.
Yeah.
Everybody knows the gun nut.
Yeah.
The gun nut crate, he's my neighbor, man. He has a whole bunch of guns and stuff like that. And it takes that and it kind of plays with it a little bit, just enough, but not enough to make it ridiculous. And it exists in a world that kind of exists with rules. The monsters, they're not super. They're not like Chucky.
No.
You're it's a living doll that fucking comes to life. You can kind of we all know what moles exist. We all know that there are creatures out there that have the ability to burrow underground and stuff like that. I feel like the creatures in this film they don't defy physics and gravity. You know what I mean? They're not crazy metaphysical.
Right. They pretty much explain how they work. I mean, you get it. It's a worm that can crawl underground and it pops up and fucking eats you.
It's just enough reality to ground this the over the top acting, and
the filmmakers did a really good job of defining what this creature is and the rules around it, and that helps in the audience to really kind of follow along with the story and not kind of get not drift into thinking this is so ridiculous, because they did such a good job of it. But kind of jumping off what you're saying, all the characters in this movies are God damn, my throat's fucked up tonight. All the characters in the movie are real and relatable people. They're different characters of people you probably know in your life, and they just put them into a ridiculous situation, which makes it so much more easier for the audience to really relate and then love the story.
Slightly bigger, not incredibly
I don't even
bigger.
think that, because
I don't know, because like in The Burbs, what's his name?
Rumsfeld?
Yes. He's into the military stuff and stuff like that. It's bigger than probably your neighbor is, but not too much bigger.
Yeah, that's what makes it fun. Is that it is just a little bit more eccentric than real life, and I think that. Yeah, that kind of put me off at first when I went back and watched it. I was like, this is kind of sillier than I thought it was. But then I did start investing more in the characters, and I'm like, okay. It was hilarious to watch Kevin Bacon fake smoke a cigarette in the beginning. Anybody catch that?
Yeah.
The other guy's smoking all over the place, and his is just just holding it.
I think the simplest explanation we can come to is this is a character-driven monster movie and not a monster-driven monster movie with random people thrown in.
The monsters aren't even the centerpiece of the entire story.
That's why it's character-driven.
No, I understand that, but I mean the monsters could be a character like Candyman. So much of it is to try to figure out where Candyman came from and how he is as a human being.
I guess it's true, but the difference is Candyman has lines, monsters don't speak.
True.
Yeah.
True. I mean, but these monsters, we don't even get an origin story.
Nope.
We don't get anything. No. We just know they
just
showed
up.
And some shit goes down.
Yeah.
That's all we know.
Yeah.
Yeah, they drove an old man up a
It's a
power line.
A power line. Yeah, that's what they call them.
Is that what they're called? I don't
That's what
work
I
on
call
those.
them.
I don't live in the country,
called?
Kyle. I don't live in the country where they have power lines.
America.
Yeah.
We live in hot suburbia.
Let me ask you this question, because I am interested with this one too, and this is one of the old standard questions, but I am interested to see what you guys say. Who is your favorite character in this film? Because I feel like this is a tough one.
It's odd because I really do like them all equally, but in their own ways. But some of the ones that stand out are the store owner that was in Big Trouble in Little China.
Egg Shen.
Yeah, what was his name in this
Walter
movie?
Chang.
Walter Chang, for him to have a store out there, I just thought was so hilarious, and the fact that it was that dude. And then, what we were just talking about, the gun nut. What's his name?
Burt Gummer.
Yeah.
Burt, because he does remind me of Rumsfeld a lot. Not quite as silly, but
Burt's definitely more serious.
That I got a serious Burbs vibe from those characters.
Yeah.
Actually, a lot of these characters. Now that I think about it,
What about you, Kyle?
I don't know. I kind of feel like I do tend to gravitate towards Burt, because I love how over the top that character is especially when talking about like conspiracy theories and thinking the government's gonna move in. He's talking about eminent domain and shit and like all this crap, and like, he's just so ridiculous. And then he has like a badass rec room full of guns, which as a kid, I was like, fuck yeah, that's so cool.
Weren't we all?
Yeah, I think so. But out of the two characters of Kevin Bacon and Fred Ward, I actually like Fred Ward's character a little bit more because Kevin Bacon is kind of the hothead, like Fred Ward is more deadpan and like dry with his delivery of his lines, and he's kind of plays the serious guy a little bit. I think it just comes off more hilarious against Kevin Bacon's character. I'll tell you which character I don't like.
Who?
The fucking love interest, the chick.
I don't even
throw
well,
away.
we can talk about how much I can. Yeah.
Before we get to Mike, I did want to touch on a point real quick with the rec room scene where the graboid comes through their wall and they grab all their guns off the thing. Like, I did not remember that scene being that long as a kid. Like, they're grabbing like 5 or 6 guns each off that wall and just blowing into that graboid. It's pretty awesome. All right, Mike, who's your favorite character?
You know what? Here's the thing. I don't know that I have one because although Fred Ward and Kevin Bacon's character are kind of like framed as like the main characters to some extent, I really do feel like this is like a true ensemble piece. Mm-hmm. Like Slither feels that. I hate to go back to Slither, but I feel like there's a part of me that feels like Slither took a little bit from this film.
Yeah, I can
like a
see
little
that.
bit. Like the way they framed it in. I mean, I don't even know what kind of town this is. I've never lived in a town that just exists in a desert.
Yeah.
And like there's nothing for miles and miles and miles. I mean, I think we have that. We live in Arizona, for Christ's sakes. But I do feel like it is like an ensemble piece. Like those characters don't really have anything to fucking do.
Yeah,
unless those other characters are there to play against.
Yeah.
So I feel like it works as a cohesive unit that I can't say that I like one person more than the other because everybody kind of has a job.
Sounds like this
it's like
podcast.
a basketball team.
Yeah.
Sounds like this podcast.
Yeah.
It's true. It's true. They give you enough time with each character. Like, even the little characters meant something.
Fucking Melvin.
I did like the kid.
What an annoying bastard.
Yeah, he plays that role fantastic.
Yes, he does.
Oh, I fucking hated him, dude. I want him to die so bad.
And he doesn't.
So bad.
He doesn't.
I know.
Yeah.
His dad does, though, right? Isn't that his dad?
That is his dad.
For some reason, I'm like, why did they kill the dad? They killed the fucking kid.
It took me a long time to really realize that was his dad. It took a couple of viewings.
I would say that my favorite character is Fred Ward. I feel like he's the heart and soul. Earl Bassett is the heart and soul of this movie. He's the one who's guiding Kevin Bacon's kind of crazy character who's like, I ain't fucking around with that chick. Like, she got brains. I don't want brains. And he's like, no, dude, you do want brains. You're just an idiot and young and don't know it. Like, I'm going to walk you through this.
What an interesting look. The thing that for the first time I thought about it when I was watching the movie this go around was, what is their story? Like, how did those two individuals come to be living in this small town, living together, doing odd jobs together? It really, because Fred Ward really does take kind of like a fatherly role to Kevin Bacon's character.
I feel like that's everybody, though. Like, how does some like little Asian guy like pull up shop in the middle of the desert because like this is a good place to set up shop?
That could make sense because wasn't this town originally a silver mining town?
Ooh, Kyle onto something. Kyle bringing the backstory and the
get
fan
into that
theories
later?
in here.
If I remember correctly, I thought the town was some kind of there were mines or something.
You think his ancestors were brought there to? Is that what you're trying to say?
I'm
kids
just saying. Well, actually, his ancestors. If you watch the terrible fourth one, which takes place in the Old West,
should they explain it?
His ancestors do open the store there.
There you go.
Interesting. Okay.
But it's just that would explain why his shop is there, and that doesn't seem strange to me. What seems strange to me is just like how, Kevin Bacon's got to be what his character of Val,
mid-20s. I would say mid-20s.
mid-20s. Fred Ward's got to be like mid to late 30s.
I would say 40s.
40s,
maybe into the 40s. So it's like, how do these two characters come together living in perfection, a town of 15 or 20 people, It's just such a weird thing.
No, it's not, because I have an answer for that.
Oh, you always have an answer for that.
Well, because
it's young love, ladies and gentlemen.
It's not. You brought it up. It's the Wang the thrift shop, the Wang market.
Charles Wang.
What's
it's called the General Store.
The general store, Walter Wang. It's Walter Wang's general store, and the reason if that is because if you build it, they will come.
Oh, okay.
If
That
you
was
build it.
Where
his
was
big,
Kevin
that was
Costner in
your
the
big
movie?
big thing you had.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Well, I mean, why else would people be there?
I don't fucking
There
know.
has to be-
Maybe the property tax is gonna be low.
There
as
has
fuck.
to be a reason that people are there. There has to be some kind of export or
Well, the one
Graboids.
Yeah, that's why that's why they're there, so we can watch them get eaten by.
Yeah, but I mean,
I have
like-
a question.
Bert
Why-
makes sense.
Why
to be
were they
there.
measuring size? Why was she up there measuring seismic activity?
She's a geologist, and that's
her like
it's-
senior project or some
and
shit.
this is in Nevada, which runs kind of close to the fault line, right? Nevada.
I think it's more like. I mean, yeah, like
Yeah,
I
I
guess
think
the
so.
edge of
It
it
bor-
towards
it borders
California, the San
California,
Andreas.
yeah.
Here we
Fault.
go.
I mean,
Yeah.
Here goes us breaking down geology.
That's what I would say.
Here's
and
the
probably,
thing.
probably also because now that I think about it, because it's such a small town, an insignificant area, you probably gonna get sciencey and make an opinion here.
Hold on
But
before
you probably get some pretty clean data because there's not a lot of blastings, there's not a lot of activity out there, so you get a true measurement of the earth.
I mean, there was kids out there, so I'm guessing the people are
I'm
blasting.
gonna disagree with you. I'm gonna tell you
yeah,
what.
but with who? With who?
I'm gonna disagree. I'll tell you what I think
Like
it is.
incestual.
It's
You're
the
gonna disagree with an opinion?
yeah. I disagree with your opinion of why you thought she was there.
Why?
I think that this is the only semblance of what they have for any kind of origin story for the monster. I think she's only there because she was measuring the
obviously.
seismic activity of the creatures.
The question he asked was, why would the college be in Perfection, Nevada, measuring seismic activities? I get her purpose in the film because she's the character. Yeah, that's not a question. He's just wondering the logistics of the reality of this world is. Why would the college send somebody up to a desolate town to measure seismic activities? And I
Why
said,
the fuck not?
and I gave my reason.
But
why.
you don't think that it's because like there were seismic activities that they were measuring somehow, and that they sent her over there, and
No,
then
they-
it
no,
turns
they-
out to
because
be
they-
that
because they
it's
sent-
the graboids?
because Val and Earl say it's the new college student, because so they have a rotating group of kids that are just in there measuring this as part of their project.
Okay.
What's your favorite death?
I'm trying to remember what they all are now. Can we go through them?
Favorite death?
Can we
Can I do death of a creature or death of a human?
But either
'Cause-
one. No, we can't, Chris. We can't go through them all. There's too many in this film.
I have one immediately. I can tell you right off the top of the head. It's the car being dragged underneath the thing. I think
I'm
that's
right
so
there with
cool.
Mike.
And you don't really actually see her die in
Nope.
any way. You just see this awesome scene where they're like digging.
The headlight out.
Because the crazy thing about it is that is something that if anybody saw it, would be like, how the fuck did a car get underground?
Yeah.
Like that's what's so cool
I
about that
I totally
scene.
agree with you. I think
And what
that
I
is the
love
best
about
scene.
it is that it's so easy to actually
Right.
it didn't require any like it's an awe-inspiring like I
Simple
guess
trick.
special effect, but it's not really special. All you have to do is like bury a headlight,
Yeah, exactly.
and you could be like, "Oh my god!" Like, and like you can use it as this bigger thing. I thought
Cool
that was
shot.
such a cool shot to see
Yeah,
the
very
like the
cool.
one like the two beams and then one beam and like it just goes out.
Yeah.
because you just know
And
what's
then you
happening.
just hear the trail of her voice echoing because now she's underground.
Yeah.
So you just have whatever is echoing through the valley. That was a fantastic kill.
I will say I love the special effects in this. They're all pretty much either camera tricks or like practical effects, but they're all done so well. And like
Yeah.
the way they hide stuff and do stuff like that is just it leaves your imagination to guess what happened, but it's also violent enough to where you are satisfied. Is that weird
Yeah, I
to
don't
say?
feel like I ever got cheated.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. No,
from
I
any of the deaths.
that's a great that's a great way to
I
put
like
it.
I like the death when what's his name?
Walter?
What's his name's father?
Oh, he gets sucked through the tire.
Oh,
Dude, it's
yeah,
so
yeah.
sick.
I always that was one of the ones I always remembered from my childhood was that kill for some reason.
Yeah.
It's not
I'll
even
tell you
that
why,
grand.
because even as a child, you're like, why are you sitting on a fucking tire?
Yeah,
you
he's
moron?"
trying for real.
You're
getting
like
killed. Yeah.
Tire,
You idiot.
You pick tire.
Yeah.
Where have you been the last 2 hours?
There's truck, tower. You know, they're like fucking
Tire.
pointing at- shed. You fucking went with tire.
yeah.
Yeah.
God,
But
he
when you're
just gave
scared-
up
when
too.
you're
He just
scared.
fucking
So
gave
funny.
up.
What's that? But which I don't understand a little bit. I want to go back to that because I don't understand why Kevin Bacon running at full speed and then stopping. The monsters have no fucking idea
Yeah,
what's going on.
that kinda
but
came
dude
out of
sitting
nowhere.
on tire, He's not. It's not like he's fucking bouncing up and down on the tire.
I thought about this actually. I thought about that a lot while watching this movie, and the way that I justified it in my mind, and you disagree if you want, but when Kevin Bacon stops, he's calm. He's like, you could tell he's controlling his breathing. He's being as quiet as possible. Whereas this guy, when he jumps on the tire, he's going like looking around and shit. And look, the creature, you could probably still pick up on that. I think it's still ridiculous that Kevin Bacon can come to a screeching halt,
but I can see it
and be invisible. But it makes some sense.
But he lifted his foot.
But he softly put it down.
No. It got to a point where I was like, all right, now we're bending the rules a little bit.
That's okay though. It's Kevin Bacon.
What? It bent it in a way that I was okay with.
Yeah, it didn't take
I'm
me
never okay when
completely
you
out of
bend
it.
Yeah.
What?
I said I'm never okay when you bend it.
Just keep it straight.
Just keep it straight.
Keep it sturdy.
Straight and sturdy.
So let me ask you guys this then. What is it about this movie that made it last this long and spawn 5 sequels, a television show? Like, is it the creatures or is it the characters?
I can't really speak for the sequels themselves. I can't say why that there's been 5 and there's a 6th in current production right now.
As there should be.
I don't know why those keep happening, but for this one, I think it's everything we kind of already touched on. Was like, it's this ensemble cast of characters that are just so instantly likable. It's like Chris said, it's like Jaws, but in the desert. Like it kind of brings back these moviegoer memories, you know?
Yeah, definitely.
I want to, because you just said it, and that's what I was gonna say. But I think Chris actually hit it on the nail of the head right there. Okay, and this is what I'm gonna go a little bit further into it.
Okay.
I think what Chris said is right. It's Jaws in the desert, but Jaws was incredibly expensive to shoot because it was on water and they needed shit.
Mm-hmm.
This is in the desert, so you're getting the same feel of that. You're getting the vast wasteland of the ocean, but like in a desert, right? So it's the same idea, the same concept of a film, except incredibly cheaper to actually shoot. And I think that might be what it is. I think that people saw that. I think companies saw that, and they looked at the film and they said, you know what? Hey, this film only made, $4 million, right? You said it was like 11 million and made 16?
Yep.
Okay, so it only made 5 million. It's not like it made a huge amount.
Maybe on video it made a lot more.
True.
Yep, it got hugely popular on video and TV.
I think they did see, I think there is a way that they could say that they saw it as being like, man, we could shoot all of these for like 11 million. And you got to imagine the sequels had to be less money.
No, I agree. I was going to say that's why the sequels have happened, is because you had a filmmaker who took something that probably could have had a bloated budget of $20 to $30 million at the time and did it for $11 million and did it effectively with old school camera tricks and effects, and
just like the way you edit things together and build the tension and
knocked it out of the park. I think that's why the sequels are still being made. That, and it does have a cult following. People do like Graboids. They do like the story and the characters that are involved with the Tremors universe. And it is fun. Like, they're just fun. It's a fun little roller coaster ride.
I just think this film is structured. Like, I'll just say, I think the film's structured perfectly.
It's very lean.
Hold on.
I feel like with the you get the characters when you need the characters. You learn about the monsters little by little, but it's the right amount of time spent on those. You kind of you get to see the first kill of the monster, which is definitely a win in the movie, because up until that, you spent the first 45 minutes along with his townspeople, you're scared of it, and all of a sudden it's like, oh shit, these things can be killed, and then it continues to progress forward. I think it's chopped together perfectly to keep the momentum and the entertainment up.
I'm gonna disagree with one scene. Fucking hate this scene. I've always hated it every time I've seen this film.
What scene?
The pole vaulting scene.
Oh, I love the pole vaulting scene.
I think that is so stupid 90s. Every 90s film had to have that weird it's a fun time and we're gonna play some lighthearted music. It's just like them, and it goes on way too long of just people pole vaulting. I don't need to. There's no tension in it. It's just, a light.
What do you mean there's no tension in it? There's graboids all around
No,
them.
they
But
never show up when they're doing
shoot
that.
it so lighthearted, like it's a fun moment
Until
in the
they
film.
hit that truck.
That's another thing.
Until they hit that truck.
Right. But between that, it's just like, here we
I
go.
didn't care
and we're
about
lighting
that
thing.
either.
Don't get me wrong. I
hate
think it
that
is. I
scene.
think I'll agree with you. I think it is probably like the oddest in terms of tone, maybe.
It's something that I feel
But
like
I think it's
Hold on.
funny.
it's something that I feel like only shows up in 90s films.
Could be. It's
Like
a montage.
80s films,
Yeah.
like they dealt with more like character comedy. 90s films always had this weird moment where they would play this like loud, like this happy bouncy music to like a weird scene where like everybody's kind of like either dancing
So
or
that scene, I'm curious. It'd be fun to recut that scene with suspenseful music and see how you feel about it.
Yeah.
I think it would have worked.
So
Yeah.
it's
I
just,
think
it's
there
just
would have been
a
a
victim
moment.
of the music. That's all.
Like a moment where like it closes in on Kevin Bacon. He's like, okay, one more jump.
Wait,
one more-
so-
like, you know,
You're telling me that they could fucking jam sticks onto the ground and that's not going to trigger
well,
them?
there are 3 at the same time, so it's hitting in 3 spots. So probably confuse the creature.
Not only that, they're
We're
jumping.
making
They're jumping to
excuses.
rocks.
Yeah, it's like a stretch.
You believe it when you're watching
yeah,
the film.
but
So
here's
shut
the thing,
up.
Chris. How is the creature going to know the stick's going to land right here? It's not going to be like, I'm going to position myself here.
I mean, if it's anywhere nearby, I feel like it could feel the vibration of the stick as it hits and just fucking
You don't know what he's
snatch
talking
it up.
about.
I
You
don't
don't
know.
fucking
He
know what
doesn't
he's
know.
talking
He doesn't know
about.
about graboids. He don't
That
know
shit. That
graboids
stick
like
was on the
that.
ground for like 1 second.
He doesn't know about graboids like
Yeah, you
that.
don't know shit.
If they're as smart as they seem to be getting,
wait, in that
no,
case,
no,
they didn't
no,
need, they
no,
didn't need the
because they
fucking
get-
sticks.
no,
they just
because
jump,
they-
hop, and then go to the next rock.
They get smarter as the film goes on. They don't initially smart.
like raptors.
no, I felt like it was a progression of the
Yeah,
ones
or
that
like
were
raptors.
killed. Like the first one they killed was the dumbest one, and the last one they killed was the smartest one.
Yeah, Stumpy.
I love that too in that part of it where it is the one that's like somewhat injured that they hurt that's like out to get them last. It is
Yeah.
like the Jaws thing where it's like,
Yeah.
no, this one is smarter than the rest.
Well, even if you look at like a lot of the scenes where they're standing on the rocks and looking down at them, it looks like they're swimming
It does,
in
yeah.
sand. Like, I mean, all I could see was like a shark circling.
Yeah, I've
you know?
always always loved that effect too, where it does look like they're swimming through water. There's another scene when Bert and goddamn, I can't remember Reba McEntire's character's name. But they both get home after being out, and she puts the shells in the shell cleaner machine.
Yeah.
And it's a shot of the it looks like the thing's diving over like the road or something. I've always liked that effect because it looks legit. You just see like its tail going back into the
Right.
ground and stuff, and then it
Yeah.
hops again. Like I always loved that shot too.
Yeah, it looked convincing actually.
Yeah.
For practical, it looked great.
Let's take a break. When we come back, let's just rate this Mammer Jammer and play a game. Hey, Chris.
Hey, what?
Hey, what are you doing April 6th through the 13th?
I don't know, man. I don't think I have any plans.
Well, you should make plans to go down to the Phoenix Film Festival at the Harkins Scottsdale 101.
Awesome.
I hear there's going to be a lot of great films there, a lot
Okay.
of great indie films that everyone's going to want to see.
Everyone?
I know I'm going to want to see them.
Me too.
Also, our podcast, Cult Film and Review, will be there also.
Where are we going to be,
Also,
Cody?
at the Harkins 101 in Scottsdale in the Party Pavilion on April 8th.
And if you don't know what the Party Pavilion is, it's a place where people party.
All right, guys, let's rate this Mammer Jammer now that we're back. And what are we going to rate it, Kyle?
We're gonna rate it elephant guns.
Let's start with Mike. Mike, how many elephant guns are going to shoot at a graboid?
I am going to shoot 3 elephant guns. So here, Tremors. Like, I there's like nothing bad I can say about it. It's an entertaining movie. It's got some inventive monsters in it. But like, there's something about this film that I've always felt, even since watching it as a kid, where it's like it's never been really that engaging for me. Like, if it's on, I'll watch it, but I could shut it off just as easily. Like, it's just not something. It's not a film that I look back on as being like, oh my god, this like shaped my childhood or anything. I just kind of feel like it's not as good as Gremlins. It's not as good as Jaws. It takes bits and pieces of a lot of good films, kind of creates something semi-unique, which is why I'm going to give it a semi-good rating, which is a 3 elephant gun.
All right, let's go with I'll go next. I'm going to give this 4.5. And a lot of that's for nostalgic reasons for me. Honestly, if I'm being honest.
Sorry.
Honestly, if I'm being honest.
just a solid justification.
I'm just letting the audience know I'm being honest. And that weighs in a lot for me, but it also I have fun every time I watch this movie. And like we've described movies like this before in the past, this is one of those movies, like no matter what point it's on, if it's the last 5 minutes, if it's halfway through the film, if it's in the first 2 minutes, I'm watching it. And it's not going off, like for me at least. So 4.5 elephant guns for me that I'd be shooting at a graboid. Chris?
What? Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
What prevented it from being a 5?
I just felt like that was too gracious.
Okay.
See, you secretly know this film's not that great. That's what it is.
No, it's a really great film, but I am basing a lot of it off of just I grew up with this movie. Like I did with Congo. Is Congo the greatest film ever? Yes. But you know, some people might not see it that way. So you know.
Some though.
Yeah, not all.
Not like the majority of the population
No,
or anything like that.
whatsoever.
Maybe a few.
I love creature features, man. I do. Like this movie, Anacondas, you know.
Plural.
The sequel. And Congo. I love adventure movies and monster movies, and this one's like an adventure western monster movie, which I think is pretty fun. The effects are great. The characters are fun. Like it's just a fun fucking movie. It's a 4.5. Get over it. Chris?
I'm going to give this a 4. And some of it is for nostalgic reasons. You know, I did see this movie as a kid and thought it was a super cool concept, and you know, they were scary, and I remember, you know, the box art, of course, like up and down the movie aisles, and I mean, I enjoy watching this film. There's nothing about it that I would change or really do differently. I like all the characters, you know, but at the same time, it's like I'm not gonna watch it all the time. Like I'll watch it once every couple of years, but yeah, I highly recommend it. I mean, if you haven't seen it, where have you been? But if you really haven't, check it out. Give it a shot. It's a 4. 4 elephant guns.
Kyle. You haven't seen it, check it out. I mean, where you been? Kyle, where you been?
You know what? I mean, there's no beer in bush. I'm going to give this movie a 5. And you know, my reasoning is pretty simple. There's nothing I can really complain about this movie. I turn it on, and I'm entertained from start to finish. That's the mark, I think, of a great film. If that's not a 5, I don't know what is a 5. Diving into it, I think the characters are really well written. I feel like the interactions that happen between characters feel natural and are entertaining. There are bits of like little bits of comedy to kind of break up the rest of the movie, and I think it's just overall done really well. The special effects are awesome. I mean, there is like the only scene I noticed, like this is definitely a movie that, I mean, if you watch it in HD, you'll notice some of the camera lighting effects.
I did watch it in HD, by the way.
And you know, that's whatever. That is what it is. But you know, to Cody's point, yeah, if this movie's on, I'm gonna watch it, and I'm gonna enjoy this movie. I watched this movie a bunch as a kid, and I'm gonna continue to watch the rest of my life. So, I mean, it's a solid 5 elephant guns for me.
Too high.
Wow, we haven't had it too high in a long time.
Well, I said it under my breath, but I think everybody heard it because I'm in a microphone.
Half away from fucking Cody.
What did you give Big Trouble in Little China?
5.
Deserves a 7 compared to this film, but okay.
We don't go to 7. All right, guys, we're gonna play Title Time Bomb now. So there is 2 teams, me and Chris versus Kyle and Mike. How it works is we, the team of me and Chris, have written down 4 titles. The team of Chris and Mike have written down 4 titles. We've split them up between each other and passed them. So the opposing team has our titles that we've given them, and they have to guess it. They cannot use actors' names, directors' names, or title or words in the title of the movie. They have to describe it some other way. You have 15 seconds to get this description out, and then your teammate can guess. Who wants to go first? What team? What should we do?
Oh, I don't mind.
Well, you're the host of our
Flip
game
a
show.
Coin.
Yeah,
Who's
why
got a
don't-
coin?
Oldest first, shall we say, Mike?
Shit. Fair enough. Reading first, or I'm guessing first.
You should read first. You're going to read to Kyle first.
Well, I got it in my hand.
Kyle
I'm
is
ready
going
go.
to guess.
I'm nervous.
I'm
Is
ready.
that okay? Can I say that?
You can say that. It's okay.
I'm nervous.
Let me know when you guys are ready.
This is worth 5 points.
And go.
This is basically the plot of Avatar, but it was a cartoon. It was a Disney cartoon. There were fairies. There was a rainforest.
Fern Gully.
Thank you very much.
Damn. It was not Disney, I don't think.
I think it was a Disney film.
No, but I didn't think you were going to get that. All right, Chris, you ready? I'm going to read one to you.
Oh, God. Yeah, okay.
Okay.
I'm scared.
Okay, you ready?
Hold on.
And go.
All right, Chris. Okay, so it's another word for New York. The
Big Apple.
Okay, that's not the title.
And you said part of the title.
I did say part of the title.
Ooh, you
So,
son of a
but it doesn't count.
bitch.
It was
Boom.
the apple.
Oh, okay. I have no idea.
God,
what
you
that
could have
is.
just said. You could have said this fruit is red and delicious.
All right, that is a 0 for team.
All right.
Team, what is this? Cool guys? What you guys going with?
What's our team name? We didn't even. Do we even have a team name?
What are you, 80?
Team Cool Guys.
Team Cool
and,
Guys?
and I don't know what we are, Mike.
I don't know what we are either.
Chris?
Okay, here we go. Ready?
Yep.
Go.
All right. So it's a place you go on vacation by yourself. It's a movie.
I know. Can you give me another? Hold on.
Yeah.
Retreat. Shit. What is it?
Private resort.
Fuck, dude, you could have given me some more on that. Could have given me some more on that. It could have been anything.
I've never seen that movie before, so I can't help you.
All right, my turn to read?
Yep.
Okay, let me know when you start.
Get your grip right.
Don't be
slipping
looking.
on
Don't
that.
be
Yeah,
looking.
He's a looker, dude.
Oh, he's a looker.
I was getting my grip right.
All right, go.
This was Heath Ledger's last film.
Can't say
I know.
actors.
I know.
We're losing on technicalities
That's all
right
I'm getting.
here.
That's all I'm giving now because I basically fucked
Do
that
you know
one
the
up.
film?
It wasn't Batman, was it? Was
Is
it
that your
Batman?
answer?
Batman?
No, that is not
Batman.
the answer. That is not the answer.
Batman.
Hell no. But
I picked this up.
that's a big fat 0 again.
What was it? What
We
was
can still win.
What the fuck was the answer?
Oh, the Imaginarium of Dr. Parnassus.
Oh, I would. Yeah, fuck that. Never really got that.
All
Some
right.
Terry Brooks shit, right?
All right.
No, it's Terry Gilliam.
Yeah.
You're reading
same
to me,
thing.
Mike?
Same guy.
Mike's
it's
reading to
Terry
me.
Brooks.
Okay, I'm ready.
All right.
And
Yep.
go.
Woody Allen film, probably his most famous one, starring.
Can't say directors.
Did we say that?
Wait, no, we didn't say directors.
Yes, we did.
Well, we
Nah, but he's technically an actor. We're giving away too much of this.
Yep. That's Annie Hall.
I mean, it is, but yeah.
Yeah,
Don't get it,
technicality.
though.
That's a 0.
See how long it's been since we played? We're all fucking up.
Fuck.
What is this shit? All
I
right,
think you're
well, there you go. Who's up next? Cody, you're reading to Chris?
Yeah, is this for our only points? This is
No, this is for 5 because he has one left. He's going to be reading you the 15-pointer.
Shit. I'm ready.
You are ready?
Yep.
And go.
Okay, so New York, and it's something that you may get at work. That's 2 parts of the title. You may get this at work. Your boss will be like, "This is a special."
They throw in eye signals and shit. No, don't throw that either.
New York, and your boss may give this to you as a special thing.
Blank.
As a special blank.
All right.
Oh.
Chris, we're going to need your answer.
Baby's Day Out.
Baby's Day Out? Is that
Baby's
the
Day
answer?
What the fuck does your boss give you special? It has to do with Baby's Day Out.
What is it?
All I can think of is like something with a raise or a bonus.
No, see, you think that's what I was saying. He's thinking
See
too
that?
special. Yeah,
Yeah, he's
It
thinking
was-
about his job where he gets
another
iPads.
Yeah,
Stupid.
another fucking word for New York would be like Manhattan. That's in there, right?
Oh, yeah.
And it's something like a special project. Your boss might give you a special project.
Manhattan Experiment or
The
what-
Manhattan fucking project.
Oh, Manhattan Project. Yeah.
Hey,
Jesus
don't look at me.
Christ.
That's your teammate, man.
Well, you know, I gotta.
I
All right,
I
Kyle.
don't
Kyle,
care.
let's bring this home. Let's bring this home, Kyle.
Okay, cool.
It's probably my favorite movie.
I don't think it will be.
Here we go.
Come on. Don't laugh about it.
Okay, so in the first film, it was a bus that could not stop.
Speed 2?
What's the full title?
Full Throttle.
Yes.
Wrong.
I mean, do we get some of that?
No.
No, you don't
No.
get any of that.
No.
Yeah,
not
it
at all.
is.
Cruise control.
Fuck, it's cruise control, not Full Throttle.
Like
They're on a
cruise
cruise
trip.
because they're on a cruise.
Ready?
That's it. We can win this. We can actually win
All right,
this.
Let me know when you're
No
ready.
technical
Go.
difficulties.
Ready? Go.
It's a sequel, and it was also a documentary made about canon. Like, it was in that documentary.
All right, there you go. Your hints
About
are
that,
over.
Like,
Your hints are over.
A sequel that was in that documentary.
You can't give any more clues.
I can't.
can't.
I can't.
That was terrible. That's so broad. Missing in action too.
No.
Like, what the fuck?
I guess it was. wasn't it?
That was really broad.
He said it's a sequel,
Yeah.
and the name of a documentary about canon is what he said. You got it wrong with
I
missing in
say something?
action too.
That was a really...
I was solid. I was.
I
blown
was
away.
like, oh, he's going to get it.
What was it?
It was Breaking 2 Electric Boogaloo.
Oh shit.
that means Mike, you and me are the winners.
We don't deserve it because I said
Scraped
fucking
by.
Full Throttle, but
Yeah, maybe get your titles right.
whatever. Sorry, I didn't get my subtitles right.
Well,
All right, guys, that's our show for this week. And make sure you follow us on social media at cultfilm_review on Twitter and Instagram. You can also follow us on Facebook. We have a website, cultfilmandreview.com. Go there, check it out. All of our episodes are up there. We have much more than are on iTunes. We're heading towards 100. So make sure you go and check those out. Also, we will be at the Phoenix Film Festival April 8th. So make sure you come check us out there. Just go to the whole festival. It starts on the 6th, goes through the 13th. Go check out some great films. You can follow Kyle.
You can follow me on Instagram at cultfilm_Kyle.
You can follow Chris.
on Instagram at cultfilm_Chris.
And you can follow Mike
at Mike Salustio on Twitter.
And you can follow me at VHS Collect on Instagram. That's our show for this week. Remember, if you're going to join a cult, make sure they watch good movies. See you next week.